This is the power of being an explorer, okay? Going out there into the world on your own accord and finding your own path, finding what works, finding your truth, okay? But it all starts with taking that first step, okay? So I always tell people, when you take that first step, the rest of the staircase reveals itself, okay? The first step is the scariest. Once you've got over that fear, the second step slightly easier. Then it gets easier and easier. Then you become very comfortable with the unknown and very comfortable with fear, essentially, which holds back so many people. And what is fear? It's just a concept that's made up in your mind. It's not a real thing. It's not a tangible thing. I can't hold fear in my hand right now. Okay, it's just a thing in your head. I'll give you an example. Yesterday, I was at the Dubai frame, and I have a massive fear of heights. Okay, and they have like a glass ceiling, sorry, a glass floor, where it's pretty much invisible, and you can see straight through to the bottom. Now, I did not want to go on there, but I did it. So I jumped on, I walked across with my eyes closed, and I still felt the fear. And I was like, why am I feeling this fear? I can't actually see where I am. Why am I fearful? Then I went on it again and I opened my eyes. Yes, I was scared, but I stood on there for about 30, 40 seconds and then I got off. So the first step is the hardest. Literally, for me, the first step was the hardest on the Dubai frame. And now it's not so much. Okay. So in your life, you may want to start a business. You may want to get into a relationship with somebody. But it's taking that first step, saying hello, hey, I'm XYZ, I'm XYZ. What do you do for a living? That's the fear that holds people back. And a lot of the time, it's fear of being judged and fear of failure, the two main fears, right? So the fear of being judged, that's just whatever reality you create in your mind, right? That's your perception. You can have someone else that goes around and faces their fear and has no fear of being judged because they've just eliminated it. You can do the same thing. It might take some work, but you can do the exact same thing. So we can eliminate the fear of judgment. These people will probably think about you for a week, maybe two, maybe a month. Then they'll forget about you because they've got so much going on in their life. No one's that absorbed with you, okay? Don't feel so privileged. People aren't that absorbed. So once you understand that, hey, I might be judged for the next few days for doing this, but then after that, people have forgotten and they're judging someone else. And I've actually got one step further. That's the way to look at the fear of judgment. Okay. And the next one is the fear of failure. Now, I always say you should approach fear like a mad scientist. Okay. You should approach the fear of failure like you're working in a lab and you're trying to find out what works, because that is what mad scientists do. When they test things, they're testing to find out what's working and not working and what response they're getting back. What that also means is they're finding out what's failing and what's succeeding. Just like what you should be doing. You should be trying to find out, this way doesn't work. Okay, let's try this way. That way didn't work. Righto, let's try this way. We got a bit of success doing this. So let's explore this. Go one step further. Right, let's do this. That didn't work. Let's do this. That worked. Oh, wow. Let's go in that step. It's just very micro improvements that lead you to the big picture. But for some reason, this really scares people. It scares the living daylights out of people. And I just can't understand why. I think it's partially because the education system, especially in England, has been set up in a way that if you fail your exams or assessments, then you're a failure. You're not up to scratch with the other students. Now, that's not fair. That's not fair, because we're measuring all students by the one standard, which is memorization. That's all it is. It's a game of memorization. How many answers can you revise for and how many answers can you remember in the test? That's all that is. And that's not fair. It's like asking a monkey to climb a tree and then asking a fish to climb a tree. And that isn't fair. So don't let that get to you if you are in that position. Your capabilities and success lies elsewhere. Other people are academically clever. That's fine. I'm not academically clever. I'm pretty thick. But when it comes to action and plowing forward on my own accord and going out there in the world on my own, I'm like the master at it. I love it. It's what I was built for. But I'm not good academically. So the fear of failure Don't worry about it. You just haven't found the way that works for you. Okay. So your job is to keep exploring, keep moving forward, explore, move forward, explore. That's all you need to do. So I hope you took some takeaways from that. These are just some thoughts I wanted to share, and it's some truths that I've come to realize through my own journey and those around me who are really, really, really successful. And I always look for the patterns, I look for the trends, and I try to report on them as best as I can for myself and for you guys, so I can move forward into the world and share the truth with other people as well.